Hey guys, welcome to Adventure Camping. Baby Glock and I, myself, Tactical Nut, are here at Kings Mountain. I'm here to do a little history walk today, history hike. It's a famous site of some Revolutionary War battles. I'm a huge lover of history, military history especially, and we want to take you on our walk today for a little learning and a lot of fun. And here's Baby Glock.
And in there, you can see, it's like a museum, and you can see a lot about National War history.
Yeah, you sure can. There's a lot to do here and a lot to see, so join us on our walk today. See you in a few.
First, let's take a look at this. And that shows you a lot about the national history out here, like what happened. It also does in there. And we'll see you in a minute.
Okay guys, here we are. This is the beginning of the trail. As you can see, it's called the Kings Mountain Battlefield Trail. A lot of famous Revolutionary War battles here. Lots to learn. Looking forward to the beginning of this hike. Here's Baby Glock over here in the Victory Garden. But since it is now wintertime, not much obviously to see for a garden. But
Okay, so this plant, there's normally like shrubs on it, and it could have been used for medicine. So like they could have come out here, like in their log cabin, they could have come out here, picked it up, and used it for medicine.
exactly. And we got some good weather today, guys. It's a little chilly, but so good.
The woods you see around you today may look ancient, but they are only a shadow of the nature forest that stood here in October 1780. Hardwood trees like oaks, hickories, and chestnuts covered the slopes of King Mountain, their great trunks massive by today's standards. Each tree stood much farther apart than you see here. Nor was there as much underbrush. Both Whig and Tory accounts of the battle say they could see their enemies at long distances. You could most rapidly under the forest canopy at the time of the battle. The top of the mountain was bare, open ground. The last time timber was cut off Kings Mountain was less than a century ago. Forest has been reclaimed, both the side slopes and the crest. So this basically just tells you a lot about the about like what's going on around us.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like what they were saying is back then there wasn't a whole lot you could see for a long distance through the woods. Now there's so many trees and so much underbrush you wouldn't be able to see normally near as far.
Because,
especially if it was
like,
summer.
Most of these trees were gone, so you could see great distances, like Britishes coming over that way, and then like the British could see the Americans coming over that way. But now, since there's a lot of trees around, if they had a war right here, they wouldn't be able to do it because there's so much trees.
It would be a lot tougher, yeah.
Remember the grade that we were talking about, Technical Nut, like
yeah.
back in the visitor center?
Uh-huh.
Then maybe the grave up there is where he was.
Well, let's go check it out and see what's up there.
Here fell Major William Chronicle, October 7, 1780. Erected by the Major William Chronicles, Chapter D.A.R. Castonia, North Carolina, 1930. So this is where he was buried.
No, this is where somebody was killed.
Killed, I guess.
Yeah, so that's why it says this is where he fell, because this is where the colonel or major was killed during the battle.
There's another one over there. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of these over.
Maybe I think that might be the gravesite.
Maybe.
Only one way to find out, right?
Yeah.
All right, Baby Glock, you lead the way.
Not just Majesty was defended and killed at this place on the 7th of October, 1780. Note, this
Inscription.
is a copy of that on the old monument erected by
Dr.
William in 1850. I can't read that name.
1850, McLean.
McLean in 1850. This stone has been placed here by the Kings Mountain Association of
Yorksville,
South Carolina.
Now remember that Colonel Ferguson? He was the one that had a chance to kill George Washington but didn't because he felt like it wasn't right because he had his back to him. Completely changed the war forever because George Washington could still keep leading American troops. Could you imagine what could have happened to America if we wouldn't have had him?
If that guard did kill George Washington, then, I mean, this would still be America, but it would still be ruled by the British.
It's very possible. We definitely would have been lacking our first president, right?
Yep.
Well, we still would have had a first president had we won, but it wouldn't have been George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So change history forever.
It could have been John Adams.
Could have been. All right. Pretty cool looking place. Definitely want to come back sometime in the spring or summer when it's a lot more green. But still pretty cool to think that men were marching through here and fighting for our country's freedom.
I'm guessing that Major William Chronicles
And Captain John Maddox.
So one of them was buried here and the other was buried here.
I think these are just stones that kind of signify where these guys were killed.
Because, like, how could they be buried under here? It's normally dirt.
Yeah.
If they're buried.
Alright, well let's keep looking and see what else we can discover. Like I said, this would definitely be, we'll have to come back out here in the spring or the summer to see what it looks like at that time of the year and what it would have looked like fighting in the summer back then.
Hello? Anybody home?
Yeah, I'm guessing nobody's there. Alright, looks like it might be a little way towards before we get to
oh my gosh, look at
something
that
else,
tree
so let's see.
down
Yeah, this has been a year of a crazy amount of rain. I think they say more than we've had in about the past 70 years. So most of the parks, state parks, national forest, everything I've been to this year have a very high number of downed trees.
Because when we went to Uwari, it was just after it rained a lot. So me and Tactical Nut got chiggers, but I'm the one who had the most for some reason.
Yeah, she was covered. The trails were so covered with downed trees that we couldn't even find the trail many times. So of course, climbing over and under trees, both of us got plenty of chigger bites to go. I don't know if you can tell through the trees, but there's a big monument up there that we're going to get to take a look at. But as according to this map right here, the Loyalists or the British would have been up on the top of this mountain, or this large hill right here, and the Patriots would be where we were standing and on the other side behind them. So they would have had them completely surrounded, making it pretty easy to cut them down and to win a victory here.
The Patriots are basically us, the Americans, so we're going to be saying Patriots a lot, so we just wanted to know if you knew what they were.
Yep. Alright, decided to take a little excursion off trail, get off of the paved area and make it a teeny bit more challenging for us, and to get up to that monument we want to take a look at. You can probably tell on camera that this is one of those times where it's pretty steep, but it's not real far to go, so should be fun. Let me stop filming so I can see where I'm going. See you at the top. Going up this is pretty steep. Not too challenging though, but it is a little slippery.
Sometimes if you put your mind to stuff and you just don't think about it, you can do the impossible. Like, when you look down, this looks impossible, but when you do it, it's like, you're amazed at how easy it is. It may be slippery. There may be a lot of branches in your way, and you might slip like that a little bit. But if you get to the top,
Alright, so here we go. We're reaching the top of the hill. Into the monument.
mission accomplished. Oh, nice.
Unless you lead the way, baby Glock.
Take that to
Will say, after walking up that hill, that would have been a nightmare
what?
to try to fight either up or down the hill.
Because if you came down here, go downhill, then you would be like, you just, instead of shooting your enemy, you would roll down them like a bowling ball.
It'd be very easy to do. Where we just came from. Hopefully a better view that way. Wish we could have filmed like this up at Crowder's. But one, there was a lot of people that I'm sure don't want to be on YouTube. Alright, looks like we're getting towards the top of the hill, or top of the area. Got another sign here talking about the Loyal Carolina Men.
So, no, it's right here. Finding enemies on all sides. Major
Ferguson.
Ferguson called for a defense ring facing outward along the quarter-mile-long ridge. 90% of the Tories who fought here did not wear the king's red coat. In the war-torn Carolina backcountry in 1780,
Allegiances.
allegiances were bitter, confused, and sometimes
Fluid.
Some men did switch sides, even in the heat of the battle. After all, the foes firing uphill at them were their own neighbors and brothers.
That means there are a lot of people that lived here in this country. Some didn't want to form their own country and still wanted to be ruled by the British, and some did. So people that knew each other would end up fighting each other.
And see, he has his musket here, his his canteen over here, and his axe over here. They would always carry these just in case, like the canteen in case he gets thirsty. The canteen is like where you keep water, but today they're like rounded shape. But back then they were just like kind of a basket.
But now we also have what, hydration packs that you can
Like camel
carry with
packs.
a straw, yeah.
And the axe, just in case they need it. Like we were saying back a couple, limber. They would use it for stuff like log cabins, or like if they need to build a home over the field.
Yeah.
They would like do it, like, because most of the wars they would take up like a whole 5 months or something.
Or
For
years,
one
sometimes.
war.
Yeah. Still happens like that today, sometimes even longer.
So they would use the axe to like build homes everywhere so they can
Or build fires, build shelters.
yeah, and
Or fight with it.
The musket is, to protect them. And in some of the pouches, they have these. It's kind of like a sword, but it doesn't have a handle. And then they
Called
would
a
put it
bayonet.
on the musket.
It's called a bayonet.
A bayonet. They would put it on the musket, and so it can only fire once.
Oh, one bullet at a time.
Yeah, one bullet at a time. So they would have to like cock it and everything. So if they didn't have enough time to do that in the war, they would put the
Bayonet.
bayonet on the sword so they can just charge. It's like a big stick, like spear.
Yeah. And they would stab the enemy. And out back that way, you can see Crowder's Mountain, where we were the other day. Along the skyline. Might be a better view up here at the monument. We'll see in a second, since we're getting really close. It's like another thing to stop and read. I hope y'all don't mind that we stop and read these out. All right, here we are stopping for a little lunch break. Sammy eating her cup of noodles. Mine is finishing up cooking. Got our little pocket stove here, which I'll do a different review on. It's been working outstanding since I've got it. I absolutely love it. My little packs there with the Baby Glock and Tactical Nut written on it. Mrs. Tactical Nut sells 31 products, so she was awesome enough to get these as a surprise for us. They've been really cool. Yep, for Christmas, and just like the other stuff, we'll do reviews on that as well. My food's about done, so I'm gonna get mine.
While I was waiting, I took a log over there. There's a lot of trees back there and there. And remember this, if you ever want to carve like stick or wood, always remember to find a dead one. Don't do a live one. So I got a dead log over there, and then I started with the Bear Grylls knife that we brought along. It's somewhere in Tactical Nut's bag. I think so, yes. So with this baby, you can do anything. You can carve, you can chop, you can do a lot of things with
Baton through wood, has a sharpening stone, a whistle.
And the great part is on the back, it shows you signals that you can use.
For rescue if you need help.
Yeah, like this is, yes, need help, pick us up.
Yep.
No, all is well. That way, I think. Need mechanical help is like, so there's a lot of things that you can do on here.
That'll be another item that we do a review on. It's been through a good amount of use so far. Been very happy with it.
So spending my time, I was cutting a log while Tactical Nut was making our food.
Alright, now we're going to get to eating because I am hungry. Catch you in a few. Alright guys, well we're just finishing up lunch here. I'm starting to get a bit chilly because it's getting pretty windy right now. So we're going to continue on our hike. Yeah, Baby Glock pretty much done with her food. But always remember, whatever you pack in, pack out. So whatever trash you have, you take with you. I've already broke my stuff down, put it in the pack. We'll dump her stuff out, whatever she hadn't eaten, rinse it out, put it in the pack as well. And continue our hike, warm ourselves back up, because it's starting to get a little chilly, isn't it?
Very. So, Tactical Nut, can you tell them like what just happened here?
Well, basically it's saying that they would get in line to shoot, and then would put their bayonet on the end of their rifle and charge, because it would obviously take too long to reload the rifle.
Like, okay, so cock. Then
Shoot.
there's like this little thing up here, and then there's a metal thing kind of blocking it. So you put powder in there, and so when this thing right here hits the metal part right here, then that creates a spark. Then the powder catches on fire, which makes the bullet go, and it goes like this. Okay, so it takes like 2 or 3 seconds to actually fire. So then they would put their bayonets on there, charge.
And there you go. Alright, let's get moving. As you can see by the way Baby Glock is dressed, the temperature is getting colder quickly as we walk because it's getting very windy. So we need to get some pretty cool picture. Shows how the battlefield would have been absolutely covered in smoke. Makes it very hard to see, know who you're shooting at, or to even know what's going on. But as you can tell, the men fought on and eventually fought their way to victory. Alright, on to the next point. Here, just continuing to walk the trail, taking in some of the scenery. Baby Glock in the lead. As you can see, all these trails paved, pretty much the exact opposite of the Crowder's mountain hike. but still nice to see a place of historical value like this being preserved so that we can come and learn how the American people responded to a government that stopped listening to them and stopped caring about the needs of its people. And our response was, we'll do it on our own. We'll create our own government and do it our way. And obviously, as history shows, we've been very successful at it. But definitely a good lesson to learn that a government that doesn't listen to its people is not going to be a good government. Alrighty, let's keep walking. Let's get some body heat going. Alright, we just had a short race up to the Hoover Monument. This is the site of where President Hoover addressed a crowd of 75,000 people talking about this area. Baby Glock got tired on that short little run. As you can see, the board that's talking about the president's.
President Hoover speaking here, October 7th, 1930. It says speaking here, so basically there would be like a big booth, as you can see, like right at this place right here.
Yeah, this would have been the exact location where he gave the speech, and being surrounded by a massive crowd of 75,000. And there's Baby Glock being presidential. Alrighty, on to the next viewing area.
This one is how be your own officer. And so right here is showing a man just sitting up with his musket. The little one is like where you keep all the black powder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big one is where you keep all your water.
Well, he has two powder horns. One to prime the rifle to put in the top, and then one to load in the muzzle.
Then,
Canteen would be on his other side. That's a knife that he has in his belt there too. So before you read that, let me ask you a question. What does the idea of be your own officer mean to you?
To me, being your own officer means like, I would have to say, like, lead yourself into battle. Like, if you're marching into battle and you're scared, just be like encourage yourself.
Okay.
Being your own officer, like an officer would encourage you to do something.
Yeah.
So being your own officer would be like encouraging yourself to do, like, fight in battle. Because a lot of people are scared, so they have to do it.
Yeah.
So
So obviously, be self-motivated would be a good thing. All right. All right, just taking a minute here to stop and hydrate and check out the surrounding scenery.
But Tactical Nut used all of his water bottle to like cook us lunch, because that instant noodles thing, it is like you need water to pour in there for the heat. So that's why we use the instant stove to heat it up, put it in there, it'll be warm.
Yep, and that's why you still have a full bottle that we can share. Because that was part of the plan. Use one bottle to cook with, one bottle to drink. And even though it is cold, people always still remember, you still need to hydrate. You can still get dehydrated. Out hiking, camping, outdoors in the cold, you still need water. And as I'm just standing here looking at this scenery, just trying to imagine what it must have been to fight in an environment like this with hills, with this kind of an incline.
At every single place you turn, because it's like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's nothing but hills and ridges, little peaks and valleys. It's really cool though. Really it's cool to see firsthand what it must have been like to live during those times, fight during those times. Listen to people gargle at those times. All right. Well, time to move along. Baby Glock wanting to play in the stream and stuff a little more. It's one thing that's always important when you're out on a hike. Even coming to a historic site like this, always give the children time to play, have fun, do things that they want to do. Helps keep them motivated to want to keep coming back out. Alright guys, Baby Glock was just kind of playing in the stream there for a minute, and we're sitting there talking, so I thought it'd be a good time to show you about the boots that she's wearing. They are made by Redhead, so I think it's your Bass Pro Shop brand, waterproof boots.
If they go past, if you like go to a pool or something, that will not work, because if they go past the shoes like up here, then you're just gonna get soaked.
Yeah, they're only waterproof up to how far?
I learned that the hard way at Iwari.
Yeah, she went up to about her knee in a stream. Had to spend a part of the day walking around with soaking wet feet after we dumped all the water out.
And it was freezing.
Yeah, but as you can see, these stand up real well to being out in the water. How do they feel when you hike?
They feel great. The last time I went hiking in Crowders, I had a real great time in these boots. Until they make a great time to go hiking anywhere.
So they're comfortable on your feet don't hurt?
They don't ache at all. They just feel like regular shoes, except they're just a little bit heavy. So it'll be easier to hike, but they feel great.
Yeah, I do remember her mentioning at Crowders that they did feel heavy, so will be something to consider, but I do remember also saying that walking over rocks and stuff like that, her feet never hurt, which is very important in a good pair of hiking shoes, is to have hard soles, so that when you're walking over rough terrain, it won't hurt your feet. Alright, just wanted to stop and take a minute since I saw her playing. I had her get back down by the little creek so we could talk about it for a minute. Once again, we'll do reviews on stuff like this in separate video. We had one skip. Wanted to play in the stream, trying to find a place to skip some rocks, but maybe pretty difficult since the stream is only a couple inches deep. And I'm still waiting for her to step just past the top of those boots and sink her feet in the water.
You don't need to be an icicle. Thanks a lot.
No, but it will make me laugh. And we're not far from the car. We're almost at the end of the trail. But I do have to say, as far as waterproof boots goes, those have been outstanding for her. Not a very good skipping rock you have in your hand.
Piece of crap. Oh, dang, I want to skip it again.
You can't skip one shaped like that.
Okay.
Well, she's got a flat one that time. Should have a better chance. What are you doing?
I have no idea.
Nope. Skip, fail.
Down the stream.
Do what?
Let's go farther down the stream.
Okay. Alright, so we're nearing the end of our hike today. I've had a good time. What about you, Baby Glock?
I've had an excellent time because I was spending time with you. Because like we got to learn a lot about history, so I guess we had to step up for 4th grade.
Yay!
And I also got to play in the stream a lot, and that was kind of fun.
Did you find any gold?
I wish.
Yeah.
Well, technically I did find this little pebble. It looked he wished that it was gold. Well, you wish that it was gold.
Yeah.
But it looked like more of a silverish color instead of gold, but
Nothing. We struck out. Of course, we didn't really dig.
If
But,
we had
you know.
one of those pans where you go like on Gold Rush,
Yeah.
like this pan where you shift it,
Mm-hmm.
like that, it's called a shifting pan. So basically, if we had one of those, you could just put the dirt and that, just plop it in there, and then you could go like that, and you can see these little specks of gold, and it would be really cool if we actually had one. And I told you that we should get that at Bass Pro Shops, but no! It's
Well.
too much money.
Where we are, it's not legal to pan for gold. If you're in a historic and it's not owned, it's not our property.
So,
But I think this probably would have been an outstanding area to at least play around in if it was legal. But I know I had a great time today. Getting to see a lot of being in the outdoors to me is always fun.
me too.
When I get to learn a little at the same time, that's awesome too.
Well, Mr. Technical Nut here, he was with his two brothers. He was in the Boy Scouts, and they learn a lot about the outdoors. Like, they get to go camping, they get to go hiking all the time. They even get to do, I forgot what it was called.
We did first aid and survival, all
Well-
kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so he's really used to the great outdoors.
Yep.
I am too, since I've been with him, but
Yeah, and the more we do it, the more we'll learn. More places we'll get to go. More fun we'll get to have. All right.